Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at some excerpts from episode 4 of Street Dance Girl Fighters season 1. If you are wanting to get in on the action on full episode reactions, I have that on Patreon. So what you're going to be seeing are excerpts from when I did that reaction to the entire thing, and there's a chance that some of my feedback is tailored towards other elements that I had already seen previously from the episode, so just kind of keep that in mind whenever I do go over the analysis. But I hope you guys enjoy, and let's check it out. Oh god, I hope they do well.
I'm so shy. Yeah.
리틀 홀리뱅. 너무 홀리뱅. 와, 인트로가 누가 봐도 홀리뱅이다.
I'm so shy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so pretty and he like that. When he beat it up, he deep inside that kitty cat. Kitty cat losing.
Very mature song for them, I will say though, because they're teenagers.
I know he don't like it when I talk back. From my mouth like Forrest Gump, but I like it when he talk back. When he shut me up, beat it up, then beat it up. Neighbors yelling while we pipe it up. Kitty purr, make that kitty purr.
여기 좋아.
Neighbors yelling while we pipe it up. Kitty purr, make that kitty purr.
Very clean.
Make that kitty purr. I'm so pretty and he like that. Pretty and he like that.
아니 진짜 홀리뱅이 아니니까. 아니 언니가 처음
That's a compliment right there. But also, that could run into a potential problem of not having their own identity as a group. Yeah, we may start getting into a little bit of biting here if we're not careful. Oh, this is a good track. I love that. That was nice. Really fun.
진짜 멋있어요.
Nice. This is a really fun track to be breaking to. Honestly, I don't think I've seen breakers break on that track. It could just be me, but I love that. Love the energy there. Yeah, love that. Whoop! They caught that with a freeze. That was so nice. Not quite as clean as it could be. Love that move a lot. That was really fun. That was very fun. I'm really glad it turned out well. And we also know too that just because they may score well with the masters or they may not, for this, that, or the other, we all know with social media and the global voting and all of those other factors, it can really turn all of this on its head. So even if a routine it has scores really great, they could also have a huge detriment in other areas. So, but I'm very glad that this turned out well, like truly, because part of me really wanted to see a group that has this type of approach of mentorship, you know, like not that thumb pressing mentorship. I really wanted this type of way of managing groups and mentoring them to really be successful. So I'm hoping that they don't make it in the bottom 4, but I don't know, you know, but because this was all, you know, hidden, so we couldn't really see who's in what group. But the twist was really nice with the heels, and then they all melted into their own pose. Really great sporadic, everybody facing different directions. Then we have bleed, and we finish it right back up, melting it through. Super fun. Everyone gets to have their own little moment. I like the choice that they made here where you have your 4, but they're all in different parts of the formation. I will agree this does read very Holybang, and you have to be careful with that. Just because you're representing Team Holybang is you don't want to replicate too much. I actually said this about Vulture. Vulture? Is that what that? No. That's not what they're called. It's oh my gosh, why can't see now I gotta go back. They are Jess, come on, use your brain. Why can't my brain right now? Venture. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. It's not Vulture, it's Venture. I said that about Venture. They had they're starting to replicate 1 mil a little too. It's you're teetering on a very fine line, so I think that's going to be feedback to them. Whenever you get too many references, it may not work. I also love the fact that whenever they were there, you had that bleed up happening. That was a really good moment. Zipping it back, coming back in, boom, boom. That right there, boom, boom with the rebounds. It did appear, honestly though, that it did look like it was supposed to be unison and some people were slightly off. So that would just be my overall note. If you're going to hit more of that legato, bounce groove with the head ISO to complement, everyone's got to be on the same page of when you drop that chest, when that ISO starts, where it stems from, how long the range is going to take place, as well as the duration. So they melted over to the other side. I love that. That was fun. Really great aerial shot. This was very, very tasteful. Having them go in their 2 straight lines. Then they move through. Really clean. Doom, doo, doo, doo. Yeah, so honestly, I have no critiques about that particular formation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I do have one thing to say. Actually, no, I don't. They even got their line in check. That was great. The slide through, the transition it up. I love that. It was simple and effective. I think that's something that really helped Holybang with Street Woman Fighter first season, was their simple but effective approach to a lot of their choreography. I did have some qualms with some of their particular, what's the word, choices, like choreographic choices with their outfits. I think like it just didn't match the aesthetic, and that's just speaking to Holybang specifically. But here I like the fits. I think they look really cool. Do I think that they kind of match the aesthetic what they're going for? I don't know what aesthetic they are going for. Like it's not as connecting as I could read the pirate theme a little bit more between the 2 groups. And then of course they're all wearing the same thing. Then the outfit's fine, but it doesn't quite carry a story like the Squid Game one did. But you don't have to for these types of things. It does help though, having a concept of some kind. I love that boom boom wah 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 wah. Great transition over, bleeding it through. Just my one note is I really feel like we could have taken more complex risks. So noticing my outside, they are slow and creating more of a speed change as they transition. And my inside, they're hitting other parts of the music. I do feel like we could have more connection to the legs and the arms, not just my arms with my legs complementing. And I know that sounds similar, but there is a difference. Complex arms and legs, meaning that they're working together polyrhythmically, or they're working together to help create more complex positions or poses or grooves. But here it feels like their legs are there more so as a stability point versus creating those opportunities to, you know, really go for it. That bleed through was really nice. That switch up. So, yeah, so she said, did Holybang choreograph this? Which can be deemed as a compliment, but I'm curious if one of them's going to bring up the fact that it doesn't look like ANF, it looks like Holybang. And you want to be mentored by them, you don't want to project a Holybang 2.0. And I think that's going to be Proudmon's case too. Like they have to be very mindful of their choices as well, because there is that connection with those groups with Proudmon affiliation. Honestly, that's with any group that does the show that has a connection. You want to be very careful to not look like just like another group or a replication of them, because then you don't have your own identity as a crew, and that can be not helpful, I think, and it could definitely lead to more just more issues down the road, identity crisis, the whole shebang. So I like the fact that they're going down to the floor, having that moment to bleed through. She said, isn't this a Holybang move? And that would be, because we're actually taking note of actual movements that we've seen from Holybang that they have coined. Like for me, that didn't really recognize as Holybang to me because I've seen that move in so many different variants. It's not really an issue, but I can see that could be a potential topic of conversation. That right there, I noticed that one of them, let me go back about 10 seconds. Love her hair though. melting through. So my dancer right over here, I want y'all to pay attention to her, what she's about to do. I think her range is just slightly off. That right there. So she dropped in versus click, click over. That's what the part was. So it's just an overall cleanliness thing. And when you do very simple but effective grooves, it just goes back to what I've already said. And this was Wolflow's detriment too, is you don't want to ride a very similar vibe the whole time, because you want to have some ebb and flow in your structure. You want some complexity, you want some simplicity, you want some stage presence, you want some formations and staging and levels. And I think this is very well done. I do think we are missing some of that oomph or some of that presence projected front besides this cool suave persona. I really think that we could have really upped the energy or really enhanced some of these grooves to make them more extroverted. I think that could have really helped this one really keep engagement, you know. Purple Hat, this is freaking great track. I think for here, it needs some refinement, but I really love the tricks. And honestly, I just get sentimental whenever I see people who are in positions like mine, and they're so helpful to others who need it or who want it. Because for me, I always feel very honored and privileged that I'm in a position in my life where I have dancers that wholeheartedly trust me when it comes to choreography and intention behind choreography and how I teach their class. Because sometimes I teach unconventionally and sometimes I teach in a pretty cohesive structure like other studio styles. Even though I teach street styles, I try to meet in the middle on curriculum. And so whenever I get to see that in shows like this, it really is empowering and encouraging for me, because we get to see so many people who just want to grow and want to get better in this craft be actually taken under the wing and guided in a way that they would have never gotten that opportunity to had they have not done this show. So it's little moments like that I actually love the most about this show, honestly, is seeing these crew leaders be humans and actually get to treat them and help them, meet them where they are and grow them where they are and give them grace, because that's you don't see that as much, at least in my culture. It's not really practiced as often. So it's really nice to see here. I love that. They're like, yeah. It was a really great setup. I love that with the thread through with the little cartwheel. My one note is to just really extend, really press through that hollow position when you do the cartwheel. It was assisted, but it was still hard. It was a one-handed cartwheel, and they had an assist there as kind of creating more of a complex point, which was really nice. I love that hinge around bringing it through. I think one of them dropped just a little bit too soon. So it's just basic cleaning things. But it's not too bad though, honestly. Do I feel like the energy dropped? A little, because of just the quantity. I think because they're matching the style of what we saw from A&F, but we're seeing it on Break Ambition. But we're just seeing more breaking in it. I feel like that's why it feels like this routine is not really skyrocketing and having a heartbeat. It just kind of feels like we're chilling here. It's clean, it's cool. It's not like pristine, but it's not like ooh, So I think this was fun seeing this and seeing them be able to showcase themselves and what they're good at. I think I'm really happy to see that, and I love that little baracho kind of moment that we're seeing there. I know that's not really quite called a baracho in a breaking, but just more like a heel swivel. Now having them all come in, I love them hitting that freeze on that sound. That was super dope. Then you have A&F coming back on. It's really, really great energy. You hear that woo, and they hit the freeze there. I think that was a great usage of their word, of the layers that were used. The energy here is nice. So we've built up the energy just a little bit, which is helping because we're at our finale and it needs to be more energy, but we're not as clean, and that's because we have a mix of 3 others who aren't quite in as much training as some of the other ones are. The pull-ins were really cool. I would say some of their head positionings could need some refinement. I think that could really help here. The add-on was an interesting choice, honestly, because I wasn't expecting that order. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they pull in. That part's fine. Yeah, da 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 da. Boom, bring it back in. Having that moment. Now we have. I'm trying to think of who all. Okay, so they have like a group of 3, so it's like 1, 2, 3, and then they add everybody into it. It's not like a true add-on. Then we have, she joins in there, and then they're about to join in right there. Okay. I see it a lot more now, but I think that tail end, some of them didn't quite create this angle or get this angle at the right timing, I think is my one note that I would say there. Dropping it down, and I love that swivel in. That was a really cool finish. It's not quite symmetrical though. I think that would be my big note too. But let me just go back one more time. Phrase. Okay, here we go. Let me look. This would be deemed more like my center point, but honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 8 plus 6? 15? No. 14? 7 plus 7 is 14. 8 plus 6 is 14. So they have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then they have 8. So I have 2 evens. 1, 2, 1, 2. My brain's braining. So technically it is symmetrical. The reason why it doesn't feel symmetrical is because of my center person right here. And there's not a defined level that's happening at this top end for me to be able to really see this defined tiered kind of formation. I think that'd be my one note. That's why it just appears to not look as symmetrical, even though it is. And I know they're all supposed to kind of be vibing and hanging out the way that they are, but you just notice this little corner of people. They're all facing the same way, which is what gives that appearance. It's supposed to be a swivel that's symmetrical. So that would be my one note to just refine that. But I thought this was good. Do I think it's going to be the top score? I don't. Right now, I would probably guess, based on the scores that I see here, they'll probably be chilling probably around where Wavy is, I think, because it's good, but it's not, there's no oomph about it, or there's nothing special about it, like what we saw from our Squid Game themed one, or the projection of performance. It feels really, it's just suave, you know? And I don't know if they did enough of the other elements to help cushion the monotonous grooves that they were bringing. And it's not bad, their grooves. It felt more flatline in terms of there was just not as many surprise moments. I think the breaking was really the only kind of breather point, but everything else kind of felt the same. So that would be my overall note for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Street Dance Girl Fighter content, Street Fighter content in general, K-pop dance content, things of the like, I have that not only on YouTube, but I have so much of it that is early release or exclusive to Patreon, whether that's copyright or very special incentives for Patreon, like bonus clips that we take a look at and react to, things like that. So if that's something that intrigues you, you can head over there and check it out. But if you're okay with just seeing what I post on YouTube daily, I'm really excited for that opportunity to be able to discuss that with you both either on Patreon or on YouTube. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye!